everybody. Hope all are keeping well. So now today the topic is third ventricle. We have already talked about the lateral ventricle. Now this is the next ventricle, which is a cavity present in the brain, isn't it? So the third ventricle, it is a median cleft which is situated between the two thalamus. Now you must have seen me drawing the diagram for the fourth ventricle. The two thalami are present this way, but below this is present the hypothalamus, and this third ventricle, this is the median cleft. The third ventricle, this is the thalamus, this is the hypothalamus, and this is the third ventricle. Got it? So it is the median cleft that is present between the two thalami. Okay? Now this ventricle, the most important thing which we have to know is this ventricle is lined by the ependyma. Got it? This ventricle, it is lined by the ependyma. This is the feature of the third ventricle. Okay? Now the features of the third ventricle. This third ventricle, it has, first we will talk about the communication. Got it? Okay? The third ventricle over here, it is communicated with, first of all, we have the irregular shaped lateral ventricle. This lateral ventricle communicates with the third ventricle by a foramen. Got it? This lateral ventricle communicates with the third ventricle by foramen of Monro. Isn't it? The lateral ventricle communicates with the third ventricle by the foramen of Monro, and the third ventricle is communicated with the fourth ventricle. Got it? It is communicated with the fourth ventricle by the aqueduct. So these are the communications of the third ventricle. The third ventricle communicates with the lateral ventricle by the foramen of Monro, and the third ventricle communicates with the fourth ventricle by the cerebral aqueduct. Got it? This is just a schematic diagram to show you the communication between the communication of the third ventricle with the lateral ventricle and the fourth ventricle. Got it? So the third ventricle is communicated with the lateral ventricle by foramen of Monro, and it is communicated with the lateral ventricle by with the foramen Monro, and the fourth ventricle by the cerebral aqueduct. So these are the communications of the lateral ventricle. Now the features and the boundaries of the third ventricle. Now since it is just a cleft, got it? It has got many structures which are present around the anterior to it, posterior to it, inferior to it. So first of all, for this, the third ventricle, to know the third ventricle, we have to draw the corpus callosum. Okay? We have to draw the corpus callosum. Okay? This corpus callosum, got it, continues down as the lamina terminalis. Is it? It continues down as the lamina. This is the lamina terminalis. This is the lamina terminalis. Then over here, the splenium is a little big over here. Got it? Now over here, just above the splenium, we have the fornix. Got it? We have the fornix. Got it? Anterior to the fornix is present the anterior commissure. Got it? Is present the anterior commissure. Got it? Is present the anterior commissure, and over here we have the interventricular foramen. I will just change the color so that you can understand. This is the inter, I'll write it up over here, interventricular foramen. Got it? Interventricular foramen. Now below down over here, got it? Below down over here, lamina terminalis. This lamina terminalis here, over here is joined together by the optic chiasma, the infundibulum of the pituitary gland. Got it? Okay? The optic chiasma, the infundibulum of the pituitary gland. Then over here on the other side you have the mammillary body. Got it? Mammillary body. And here you have the midbrain, you have the pons, and you have the medulla. Got it? Like this. And this is the fourth ventricle. Isn't it? This is the fourth ventricle. Behind over here, got it? Behind over here, this is the fornix. Below the fornix, over here, got it? Below the fornix over here, there is presence of the tala choroidi. Got it? Is present the tala choroidi. Below this is the thalamus. Got it? This is the thalamus. Okay? Now, so this is the cavity of the third ventricle. Okay? This is the cavity of the third ventricle. Behind over here, okay, with tala choroidi, you have the pineal body. Got it? This is the pineal body. Got it? This is the midbrain, this is the pons, this is the medulla, this is the mammillary body, this is the infundibulum. Got it? This is the optic chiasma. Okay? So now this third ventricle, it has got, in this third ventricle communication I told you, it has got some recesses and boundaries. So it has got an anterior boundary, it has got a posterior boundary, got it? It has got a lateral wall, it has got a roof, and it has got the floor. Got it? Anterior boundary, posterior boundary, got it? It has got a roof, it has got a floor, and the lateral part. Okay? And the lateral part. Posterior commissure. Posterior commissure. And this is the posterior perforated substance. Got it? And this is the posterior commissure. Okay? So now the boundaries. The anterior boundaries of the third ventricle. Anterior boundary of the third ventricle. This is the genu. This is the rostrum. And this is the lamina terminalis. Okay? This over here is the lamina terminalis. So the anterior wall of the third ventricle is formed by the lamina terminalis, the anterior commissure. Got it? It is formed by the anterior commissure and the anterior column of the fornix. This anterior column of the fornix. Okay? So the anterior wall of the third ventricle is formed by, got it, lamina terminalis below the rostrum. While teaching you the corpus callosum, while teaching you the lateral ventricle, I did mention that the rostrum below down is it is having the lamina terminalis. So it is bounded anteriorly by the lamina terminalis and the anterior commissure and the fornix. Got it? Anterior column of the fornix. So these are the three structures which form the anterior wall of the third ventricle. Then the posterior. The posterior wall, it is formed by the pineal body over here. This is the pineal body. Got it? Pineal body. The posterior commissure. Got it? The posterior commissure. And this is the cerebral aqueduct. So the posterior boundary is formed by the pineal body, the posterior commissure and the cerebral aqueduct. Because here it is coming down into the fourth ventricle. Got it? Pineal body, posterior commissure and cerebral aqueduct. आवाज ठीक है ना? Okay, and the cerebral aqueduct. Okay. Then the lateral wall is formed of the thalamus, the hypothalamus and the sulcus that is present between the hypothalamus. Thalamus, below this is the hypothalamus and the sulcus that is present between the two hypothalamus. Okay. The roof. The roof over here, it is formed by the tela choroidi. See this. This is the tela choroidi. Got it? It is formed by the tela choroidi and the ependymal lining of the third ventricle. And the ependymal lining of the third ventricle. Okay? And the floor over here, this is the optic chiasma. This is the infundibulum of the pituitary gland. Okay? And then that you have the mammillary body. Got it? You have the mammillary body. Sorry, you have the mammillary body. You have the infundibulum, the posterior perforated substance, and you have the tegmentum of the midbrain. So midbrain, which is over here. Got it? This is the mammillary body. So you have the optic chiasma, the infundibulum, the mammillary body. Okay, the mammillary body, and the you have the tegmentum of the midbrain. Okay, so the floor is formed by optic chiasma, the infundibulum, the mammillary process. Got it? The mammillary bodies, the posterior perforated substance over here which it is present, and the tegmentum of the midbrain. The tegmentum of the midbrain. Optic chiasma, infundibulum, mammillary body, posterior perforated substance, and the and you have the tegmentum of the midbrain. So this is the floor of the third ventricle. To repeat again, the third ventricle has got anterior wall, posterior wall, roof, floor and the lateral wall. The anterior wall is formed by the lamina terminalis, anterior commissure and the anterior part of the fornix. Got it? It is formed by the lamina terminalis, anterior perforated substance and the fornix. The posterior wall is formed by the pineal body, the posterior perforated substance. Got it? It is formed by the pineal body, the posterior perforated substance and the posterior commissure. Like you have the anterior commissure over here, just opposite to that is present the posterior commissure. Got it? You have the anterior commissure, you have the posterior commissure. Got it? You have the pineal body and you have the cerebral aqueduct. So here the third ventricle is continuing down over here into the fourth ventricle, and this gap which you see over here is the cerebral aqueduct. So pineal body, posterior perforated substance and the cerebral aqueduct. These are the structures which form the posterior wall of the third ventricle. The roof is formed by the tela choroidi. The roof is formed by the tela choroidi. Got it? This is formed by the tela choroidi and the ependymal lining of the third ventricle. Got it? The roof is formed by the tela choroidi and the ependymal lining. So this is the cavity, the ependymal lining of the third ventricle. The floor is formed by the optic chiasma, the infundibulum of the pituitary gland, the mammillary body. Got it? The posterior perforated substance and the tegmentum of the midbrain. The tegmentum of the midbrain. This is the optic chiasma. This is the infundibulum. Got it? Of the pituitary. This is the mammillary body. And this is the posterior perforated substance. So all these structures, they form the floor of the third ventricle. They form the floor of the third ventricle. Now recesses. What are these recesses? These are nothing but the extension of the cavity of the third ventricle. Recesses are nothing but the extension of the cavities of the third ventricle, and these recesses are, here you have the pineal body, above the pineal body you have the near the pineal body you have this pineal recess, above this is the suprapineal recess, got it? So suprapineal recess, pineal recess, got it? Optic recess and the infundibular recess. So see these gaps which you see over here, they are the extensions of the cavity of the third ventricle, and where these gaps are present, these gaps are present along the upper part of the pineal body, that is suprapineal recess, near the pineal body, that is the pineal recess, near the optic chiasma, that is the optic recess, near the infundibulum, that is the infundibular recess. Got it? So these are the four recesses of the third ventricle. These are the four recesses of the third ventricle, and the third ventricle communicates up with the lateral ventricle to the foramen of Monro. Below it communicates with the fourth ventricle to the cerebral aqueduct. The clinical importance of the third ventricle is, the third ventricle is a narrow space. The third ventricle is a narrow space and it can get easily obstructed. The third ventricle, since it is just a median cleft, a small gap, got it? It is a very narrow space and it can be easily get obstructed. And what are the causes of obstruction? The most important cause of obstruction is either inflammation or either tumors, but most common causes are the tumors. These tumors, they lead to intracranial pressure. Got it? These tumors, they lead to intracranial pressure, and this increase in intracranial pressure is especially seen in case of adults. Got it? Increased intracranial pressure is seen in case of adults, and increase in the intracranial pressure in infants will lead to hydrocephalus. Got it? Will lead to hydrocephalus. So there will be lot of water present in the cerebral cavity. Got it? There will be lot of fluid present in the cavity. Okay? So it is hydrocephalus in infants, and it will lead to increased intracranial pressure in the adults. If there is a tumor present in the lower part of the third ventricle, if there is a tumor present in the lower part of the third ventricle, what will happen? It will give rise to hypothalamic symptoms. Got it? If there is blockage due to tumors in the lower part of the third ventricle, it will give rise to hypothalamic symptoms. And these hypothalamic symptoms are diabetes insipidus. Diabetes mellitus is different. It is due to lack of or no insulin, isn't it? Due to decrease of insulin. But over here, this is because of increase in intracranial pressure. This is due to blockage to the third ventricle. Will give rise to diabetes insipidus. It will give rise to obesity. There will be sexual disturbances. There will be disturbance of sleep. Got it? There will be hyperglycemia. Got it? There will be hyperglycemia and glycosuria. Got it? So the sugar levels will increase and the glucose level in the urine will increase. Okay? All these things will occur if there are tumors in the lower part of the third ventricle. And how to diagnose this? Nowadays the technology is very advanced and you can diagnose this with the help of CT scan and MRI. Got it? You can diagnose this with the help of CT scan and MRI. To repeat the third ventricle, the third ventricle is a median cleft that is present between the two thalami, and this third ventricle is lined by the ependyma. Got it? It is lined by the ependyma. This third ventricle up communicates with the lateral ventricle through foramen Monro, and below it communicates with the fourth ventricle by the cerebral aqueduct. Okay? Then you have the boundaries of the third ventricle. The boundaries are anterior boundary, posterior boundary, the roof, the floor, and the lateral wall. Got it? And the lateral wall. Anterior wall, posterior wall, lateral wall. the roof and the floor. The roof and the floor. The anterior wall is formed by the lamina terminalis, anterior commissure, and the anterior part of the fornix. Got it? The anterior wall is formed by the lamina terminalis, the anterior commissure, and the anterior part of the fornix. The posterior wall is formed by the pineal body. Got it? The posterior perforated substance and the cerebral aqueduct. Got it? The posterior wall is formed by the pineal body, the posterior perforated substance, and the cerebral aqueduct. The roof is formed by the tela choroidea. The roof is formed by the tela choroidea and the ependymal lining of the third ventricle. The floor is formed by the optic chiasma, the infundibulum of the pituitary gland, the mammillary body, got it? And the mammillary body and the posterior perforated substance. Optic chiasma, infundibulum of the pituitary, mammillary body, and the posterior perforated substance. So these are the structures which form the floor. The lateral wall of the uh, third ventricle is formed by the thalamus, the hypothalamus, and the hypothalamic sulcus. Got it? It is formed by the thalamus, hypothalamus, and the hypothalamic sulcus. The recesses of the third ventricle are, the recesses are nothing but the extension of the cavity of the third ventricle. The recesses are nothing but the extension of the cavity of the third ventricle, and the extension of the cavity is in the pineal area, in the optical area, in the infundibular area. So the area above the pineal body is called as the suprapineal recess. The area at the level of pineal body is the pineal recess. Then at the level of optic chiasma, it is the optic recess. Above the infundibulum is the infundibular recess. So you have the suprapineal recess, the pineal recess, the optic recess, and the infundibular recess. So these are the recesses. And obstruction to the third ventricle, since it is a very small space which is present in the brain, it will give the tumors will give rise to obstruction, and obstructions will lead to increase in intracranial pressure in adults, and in case of children, in case of infants, it will lead to hydrocephalus. If there is obstruction to the lower part, it will give rise to hypothalamic symptoms, and the hypothalamic symptoms are diabetes insipidus, obesity, sexual disturbance, sleep disturbance, hyperglycemia, and glycosuria. Got it? It will give rise to hyperglycemia and glycosuria, and this can be detected by checking, by doing the investigation such as CT scan and MRI. That's all about the third ventricle.